So a lot of teachers like to take a work habits grade as they're working through the semester to check kids on how well they're actually performing in the class as far as behavior and doing what they're supposed to do and taking care of their workstations and everything. So I'm inside my resources here and I've built a folder called work habits, and I'm going to add some assignments in here. And we're going to do this in a very standards-based sort of way. So I'm going to call this work habits week 1 maybe. And I definitely want to have a description of what I'm looking for when making a work habits grade. Okay, so have a good description because kids will be able to click into this, parents will be able to click into this, and I'm going to build this with a rubric. I'm going to go to create new rubric, which is a great way for us to add a learning objective. Well, you might be saying, what are my learning objectives? Well, your learning objectives in this case, we're going to go into custom and school, and you're going to find 21st century skills. 21st century skills are all about different types of work habits and mindsets that students need to succeed in the 21st century marketplace. So I'm going to go to life and career skills, and there's several you're going to see that you're going to find one that you might like, but I like this one down here, the productivity and accountability producing results. And it's a big list of things, and if you read through them, you can see that a lot of them are very, very important to the things we do in a lot of our lab type classes. So there I have a rubric. If I want to be a little more specific about what is a 4, 3, 2, 1, I can. If I'd rather just have, a 5, 3, and 1, I could do that. I'll leave it right there. Press create and, got to title it. So now it's attached to this assignment, and click on submit. And I've done this in my resources so I can create copies more quickly. It's difficult to create copies within a course. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to go to copy to, and it's going to just copy in place. And now I've got a second copy. So I can edit that copy, call it week 2 perhaps. Okay. And you can continue on with this for as many you want to measure. Maybe you want to do this every Friday. Maybe this is something you do every 2 weeks, whatever it is you might like to do. But let's go ahead and add it to a course. I'm going to click on Home, and I'm in my resources. Let's grab that whole folder, edit, add to course, and I'm going to add it to my demo course. And this is where I can actually set up some things. I can put a due date for week 1, and then come down here, add a due date for week 2. I can add a category, so I've got a work habits category in that class. Okay, and then if you don't want students to actually submit anything, you can disable those submissions and press import, and it says they're imported. So let's look at it in the class, courses, demos, and they should be inside my work habits folder here, and see they're right there. Okay, and then in the grade book, they will show up as well, and this is actually where you can start to grade things. So as I float over, you can see that rubric pops up, and I can say that student had an excellent week, and that student had an excellent week, and I expect a little more out of that student. If you decide that you want to add a little bit more of a description to this, you can actually click on Manage Rubrics, and this will change it for everybody. It's in the Grade Setup tab, actually, and there you have your Work Habits rubric that you can use then to edit what it is that you were looking at, and it continues to update and change right here in the gradebook. So if you like taking work habits measurements, lab grades, some people might call them, you can do that in a very standards-based way here in Schoology.